Hello. So here's a request from Big Alpha Male. He says, "Good to see you back, Kyle. How's the new computer working out for you?" Oh man, I should vlog about that. My new Macintosh, like, I can like work on really big pages and make the pages. It's so much faster because I have a lot of my pages are really big, and so you need a stronger computer. And yeah, dude, I was like, what? That's when I got really addicted to the computer, when I got a new computer. Okay, anyway. So, video request, comments and thoughts on the Men's Journal about marijuana. Glad you're getting some of those lipomas taken out and medical insurance now. I still need to get that set up. It's not too late. You can get it set up whenever you want. Okay. So yeah, actually I have the Men's Journal because my mom gets these mailed to her house, so she gave it to me, and this is the one that has the article, "Can pot make you a better athlete?" And then so they interviewed some dude. I guess he was a professional triathlete, and he likes to get high for his training rides, but he doesn't smoke it. He takes sativa under the tongue because it helps him concentrate on his body. So yeah, that's one reason that I'm like, you know, shitting my pants or jizzing my pants about the whole living in Boulder now with where marijuana being legal, dude, because I can get all high, dude, and I don't have to smoke it. I could like get high orally and go riding, dude. If you stick, in the article it said you have to stick to sativa. Yeah, if you stick to sativa, you could probably avoid, you could get nice and high, dude, and avoid getting low blood sugar. If you do Indica, you're fucked. Like, forget about it, you're fucked. Indica is basically, Indica and sativa are basically two different drugs. Indica, in fact, I should get more sophisticated. I just haven't had the money. But as soon as I can afford it, I want to have two marijuana containers. I want to have one with Indica and one with sativa, because you would smoke them for different reasons. You smoke Indica to get to sleep. That's the shit that knocks you out. And that's the shit that you don't want to be smoking if you're like on the computer all the time, like me, not moving your body, because then the body thinks you're going to sleep, and so you can't keep your eyes open and you have to drink coffee all day long. But if you're smoking sativa, I know, God damn it, I know this because I've been smoking sativa. I look and it says sativa, and then it's looking at the other one says Indica, so I know the difference. With sativa, dude, you stay awake. Like, I think I said in another video yesterday I was up for like 24 hours a couple weeks ago just because, and it was because I was on sativa. Sativa will give you insomnia. It will do the exact opposite from Indica. And so if you're smoking sativa all the time, you're not going to get to sleep, and you're going to be all up like you're on fucking crystal meth or something. So yeah, so you really should be smoking sativa at night and Indica in the morning. Or sativa when you want to go to sleep and Indica when you get up. So Indica would give you energy. Now as far as helping you concentrate on your body, yeah. Especially if if you're not that much of a stoner, and you get high maybe once a week whenever you go on a big ride, or once a day or something. Me, I'm high all the time, so I mean, in fact, right now I'm kind of in crisis mode because I can smoke a whole bowl and I don't even get high at all. Like, I'm just smoking up my fucking weed, and I'm just staying at this like level that I guess is high. I can feel that I'm high now, but shit, what was I talking about? Yeah, Indica. Oh yeah, getting into your body. Yeah, so especially if you don't smoke that much, you get high, and all of a sudden, yeah, you look at your body in a totally different way. You're stretching, and you're like, like, what? And it's the same thing with riding a bike. Right now I'm high, and I'm like, what? I remember when I was in college and I'd get high, and I'd ride, and I'd feel like I was like really high off the ground. I'm like, I can't believe how high off the ground I am. Wow. And stuff like that. And it's cool to get high on your trainer, because then when you get out there and you're riding on the road, you feel like you're riding on the trainer, but you're on the road. So you're like at home, because you're just like, okay, me and my trainer, I'm used to the trainer. Oh, I feel strong. Oh, I'm on the road. It's trippy. It's like getting up. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to describe it, but smoking weed makes shit trippy like that. And for example, my new mountain bike route that I'm doing, like I smoke weed to do that, and so weed kind of takes the pressure off of stuff too. I know I'm kind of getting out of the subject from what you asked, but it's all within the realm of athletics and everything having to do with training and endurance sports and stuff. Has to do with everything that has to do with that. So if I'm going to talk about the writing, I should also be talking about the diet, the music, the this, the that, the gear, the everything. And so smoking weed makes you interested in all that stuff more. For example, the maps, it makes you trip out over the maps more and understand the maps more and kind of become one with the territory, you know, like, wow, more, and you trip out over it and you absorb more in different ways, and which is good because it gets you more excited about the sport in general. And that's what you want. You want to do whatever it takes to get yourself excited about the sport. But as far as the actual training, as long as you don't have a blood sugar catastrophe, because if you bonk on a bike, that's not good. You know, so just don't do more than you're used to, and just know what your limits are, so you can do enough without bonking, or counterbalance it with a bunch of candy bars or something. But the cool thing about it is that you don't have to smoke as much to stay high when you're exercising as you do when you're laying around the house, because your blood circulates it around your body, and you get high again, and also you store the THC in your fat, so when you're burning the fat away, you're kind of recycling it and getting high off of it again. Kind of like if you're tripping on acid, and then like when you're coming down on the acid, you smoke a bowl of weed and all of a sudden you're tripping acid again. It's kind of like that. You could be getting high all week, and then you're sober and you haven't gotten high for a couple of days, and then you go on a ride and then you're like high. You're like straight up stoned on marijuana because it's the fucking THC coming out of your fat. So I don't know where that came from, but oh yeah, but I mean, so you don't have to smoke that much, so it's not like you have to stop at the side of the road every half hour to get high again. You'll stay high throughout the whole, plus the endorphins of the exercise. But as far as pushing yourself through, like when I did the 24 hours of Moab, that was one endurance race that I did. And I finished 16th out of 44. I beat, only one girl beat me, so I did pretty good, especially since my body totally shut down on me. I should have done a lot better. I would have done at least 1 or 2 more laps. I didn't have physical problems. But I didn't listen to any music, and I didn't do any weed or anything like that, and I didn't have any desire to. At one point my brother offered me to let me listen to music one lap because he had it ready, because I told him to have it ready in case I wanted to, and I didn't want to. I was just too much excitement from everything else. I didn't need the motivation. And I felt the same way about the weed. I didn't need to be high. But if I use it in training, I would also use it in racing, because you want to have the similar circumstance racing as you do training. Even if you don't think you need to, you should, because the slightest bit of difference could throw you off. If you're high and you're, like for example, if I'm here in my house and I'm riding my bicycle, and I've been riding my bike for like 10 hours, you know, and it's like 3 in the morning and I'm like physically exhausted, and you know, and I want to go to bed, and I'm like, this is ridiculous, but maybe I want to go another half hour because I'm like at a, that's when I'm going to get to a stopping point on my website, and I want to do it on my bike because maybe I have like only 5 more miles to go before I complete 100 miles for the day or something like that. Well, if I stop and I have a big old bowl, it's literally like if you're playing a video game, okay, and your little character is down to the red, it's literally like injecting 2 more energy bars into you. It literally gives you energy. And I don't mean a little bit of energy. I mean, did I say 2 energy bars? 4 energy bars. it'll take you from 10% up to about 40%. At least that's what it feels like. And you'll power that motherfucker out, dude. You will power that out. And even if it doesn't give you energy, it will make you want to push through, because you'll start philosophizing basically over the whole concept of pushing yourself. And then you'll daydream and you'll space out. Now one thing, and which will make you keep going. Now one thing I've noticed is that when I start to get tired, and this is only like my 3rd day. But one thing I've noticed, and I predict it's going to be like this, is that riding on my bike, you know, I get tired and becomes uncomfortable. But as soon as I start working on my website again, all of that goes away, and I start riding harder, because I'm not paying attention to how much I'm physically not being good. I'm paying attention to something else, and so then I start riding. It's really cool. So basically, marijuana is definitely a performance enhancer as far as training goes, and as far as racing goes if you train with it. And also it helps you push yourself harder. And it could conceivably cause you to push yourself so hard that, you know, you would literally at absolute maximum, harder than you've ever pushed. People, hashish, the word assassin comes from hashish. Back in the days of, in the 1100s and the Crusades, one of those, I think it was the Caliph of Egypt, can't remember. Well, anyway, around that time, they had their assassins who would smoke all the hashish, and then they would go and do their assassinate political rivals and stuff, and they would be stoned off their ass, and so it would make them go berserk. Berserkers, you know, like the Vikings. Well, I bet you if they had weed, they would have loved to smoke weed and go berserk. Now, talking about weed in history, Herodotus references weed twice. On one occasion, he says one of the Phrygians, who are kind of like, I think they're around like Afghanistan or something, Scythians, whatever. They're primitive people. He said that they would all throw the flower, the buds, or the seeds. They throw the seeds, but that's the buds, on top of the fire inside of a tent and hot box, and then they would all howl like wolves. And then another occasion, he said, I think it was the Scythians, they would smoke it, and it would make them, oh God, I can't remember. I can't remember. Anyways, so that was Herodotus, 500 BC, talking about weed. Yeah, it's definitely, it's the only reason people don't do it more is it has this stigma. Just read comments in my video, all the hatred that I get. That hatred comes from the weed. If I wasn't a stoner, about 60% of that hatred would probably be gone. People just don't like weed, so then they don't take advantage of it. But people are gonna realize. And it doesn't cause you to like crash, you know, like Nancy Grace. You're gonna burn your house down. You're gonna crash into a tree. Like, people have been smoking weed and skiing and biking since the beginning of time, so it's not gonna suddenly happen just because they legalize weed. Although more and more people will smoke it, and it, you know, it can cause you to cause wrecks. So I'm sure it'll cause a couple more wrecks. I don't know what the statistics are, but I mean, you have to look at all of the different variables, and I mean, it would reduce stress, which would reduce people from having stress-related crashes, so overall it could probably reduce crashes, but anyway, so that's enough on that. Okay, peace out.